Well, 7 meetings canceled between these teams, but tonight the Thunderbolts and Senators will do action live from Waldorf, Maryland, and this one has all sorts of playoff implications. Let's talk about some of the major players, Max, for the Senators. We welcome you in the booth, Cody Wagner alongside Max Wagner, and this guy right here, Logan Tribble, he has been a big part of what Southern Maryland's doing.
Yeah, Tribble on a hot streak here, entering his last 6 contests. He's gone 11 for 18, 6 RBIs in those games, another 4 walks. So he's on base more than 50% of the time in his last 6 contests. Very impressive for the Senators.
And then how about Steven Krause as well? He's been a major piece for this squad, knocking runners in.
Yeah, certainly not a conventional way to bring in runners. He's actually 2 for 12 in his last few contests, but in that same time, he's gotten 7 RBIs. So certainly bringing in runners in those key situations for the Senators.
And let's talk a little about now this new playoff format. This is what the bracket looks like currently. Max, just touch on things a little bit in the keys to pitching come playoff time.
Yeah, you're definitely wanting to conserve some of your pitching. As you see, it looks like the Senators will have to play anywhere up to 7 games to be able to bring home this league championship. So keeping that starting pitching rotation rested will be key. You'll see some not so regular arms for the Senators this evening.
Yeah, and speaking about not regular arms, it was supposed to be this man, Jace Kinnaid, making the start, but been told that he's had a pregame injury. So Dawson Weatherald will make the start for Scott Middleton tonight, and we'll just have to see how things go. Not a whole ton of pitchers ready to go for Southern Maryland. It'll certainly be an interesting one tonight. 13-19 Thunderbolts on the road against your 17-16 Southern Maryland Senators. Sure to be a good one tonight with a whole lot of playoff implications. We're back with more and first pitch after this.
Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com. Need industry-leading equipment for leaf blowers, lawnmowers, boat trailers, and more? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Need maintenance or repair on equipment? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Family owned and operated, they take pride in everything they do. They have a reputation for fixing what others can't. For more on equipment and repair, check out GuyBrothersMarine.com today. Guy Brothers Marine, their commitment to serving customers is priority one. In need of trash pickup service? Well, look no further than Evergreen Disposal. With over 2 generations of experience, a family-owned and operated business, Evergreen Disposal proudly serves Southern Maryland. The company is committed to customers and building community. They provide service to homeowners associations, individual houses, and commercial, construction, and industrial locations. Once you switch, you'll never look back. To start using Evergreen Disposal, go to evergreendisposal.com or call 240-468-6677. That's 240-468-6677 to change to a community-based organization. Evergreen Disposal. Whether you're a player or aspire to work a job in sports, the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate Baseball League is the right place for you. With over 250 players each year, the Cal Ripken League helps showcase talent in a competitive environment. If you're seeking a job in sports, the Cal Ripken League offers media and photography internships. To learn more, visit calripkenleague.org today. If you want to stay up to date with all things Senators, follow the collegiate team's social media accounts. You can follow the team at Southern MD Senators on Instagram or Go SOMD Senators on X to keep up with the team. You'll get score updates, final score graphics, access to articles, and so much more. Go check out the Senators on social media and don't miss a moment this season.
Sure to be a fun one this evening. Thunderbolts and Senators. An offense in the T-Bolts that has really struggled this season. They're last in the league in batting average, hitting .221 as a team, and they really strike out a lot. Second most in the league, 285 this season that they've gone down on strikes, and only a .659 OPS. When you're not getting extra base hits at a high rate and you're striking out, things normally won't go your way.
Yeah, it's certainly difficult to score a lot of runs when you're not getting those extra base hits and not putting the ball in play like the Thunderbolts have struggled to do this season.
Yeah, and to begin this season, when these two teams first met, it was two of the top pitching staffs in the entire league. Since then, things have changed a lot for both sides. What do you think is key for both pitchers as we head into this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's a very similar story to what you saw last night. You know, obviously Weatherhold here getting the short notice start. It's going to be just getting the ball in the zone, kind of bringing down some of those jitters, getting the heart rate to a normal level. Getting this first batter out will be a huge start in the right direction for Weatherhold.
Yeah, Dawson Weatherall not scheduled to make the start this evening, but due to a pregame injury to Jace Kinane, he's got to step up. Weatherall, this is the first start he's made all season. And with that, we are off and running from Southern Maryland. First pitch misses up and away to David Vazzo. Vazzo 2 for 7 against the Senators this season, 3 runs batted in. This is in the air, left side, foul territory, triple, a long run. He'll see it in the seats.
Yeah, just out of play there for the Senators. Good effort to make a play on that first ball in play there.
These two teams not super well acquainted with one another this season. They've only played twice and haven't seen one another in this month of July.
Yeah, certainly the rainouts have been a story for the whole league. It's impacted how we've structured the playoffs. It's impacted some of the pitching situations.
This is hit towards the right side, base hit. So leadoff knock for David Vazzo, and that's what he does so well. Leadoff man aboard in the first. And this is Griffin Puval. Max, he has really struggled lately.
Yeah, 0 for 11 and over his last few contests. Certainly looking to get things going.
Puval, he's had good moments throughout this season. 4 runs batted in, only 4 strikeouts to 4 walks. Takes a first pitch strike. Puval hasn't seen Senators pitching this season. Very small sample size for all these guys against one another because they've only played twice this season, Thunderbolts and Senators.
Yeah, especially with the depth of the Thunderbolts, which we'll get into further in the broadcast. A lot of these guys haven't faced Senators pitching or have had very few at-bats against the Senators this season.
1-1, smacked into right field. On comes Groen. It'll drop in front of him. Back-to-back singles to begin the night for the T-Bolts. They've both gone to opposite field. Nice hitting by Puval and Vazzo.
Yeah, definitely showing off that opposite field approach, getting Groen some work out there in right field for the Senators. So,
and in the 3 spot, Bryce Curry. He's seen limited time as well. You'll get a chance to see that up and down this roster. Just guys that haven't played a ton because there simply are so many players on this roster, Max.
Yeah, it definitely makes it difficult to get into any sort of a streak or anything like that when there's so many players on the roster.
And with the batting being so slow all season, runners off, and there's no throw.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a story that we saw a lot of yesterday with the crop dusters taking advantage of the catcher back there behind the dish.
Yeah, crop dusters stole 12 bases yesterday against the Senators. Really the Achilles heel for Southern Maryland.
Yeah, they were running early and often yesterday. Hopefully that's not something we have to relive today. Hopefully we're able to keep the Thunderbolts off base a little better in today's action.
How do you try to not let it get in your mind for Weatherall that you were going to come into this game maybe 4 or 5 innings in, as this one is lifted deep out to left field? Tribble will make the catch on the warning track. Coming in and scoring from third is David Vazzo. T-Bolt's first on the board tonight.
Well, I'd say you just saw one of the important things for Weatherhold there. Getting a first out is key. Just being able to shake off a little bit of that jitters that you might have coming into a game as a starter rather than a reliever.
So this will bring up Nolan Cutney in the cleanup spot. Just incredibly consistent. 3 for 10 against the Senators recently as well, holding the line 3 of his last 12.
Yeah, he's done a good job of getting the ball in play. 15 out of the 20 games he's appeared in, he's been able to record a hit. So pretty good hitter in the middle of the lineup here for the Thunderbolts, looking to drive one in.
A 1. Flown in the air, shallow center. Out goes Smale, who will put it away for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, a bit of a difficult play back there, heading back from the infield, but Smale able to put it away and make it look rather routine.
So Jack Herta will get his first opportunity. 0 for 10 recently, just on a bit of a slide. Strikeout's been a big issue for him this season. Has gone down on strikes 18 times and 41 at-bats. It's a 44% strikeout rate.
Yeah, it's difficult to bring your batting average up when you're striking out at that type of clip.
Sort of reflects the rest of the team as well. Strike out the second most of any team in the league. 285 times they've been set down on strikes compared to just 212 for the Senators' bats.
Yeah, that's where you referenced. It's difficult to get those rallies put together. Good block there by Jax Nichols behind the plate to keep the runner at second there.
And Dawson Weatherall, not a guy that's going to strike him out at a super high rate. 4 punch-outs across 11 innings. He will pitch to contact, let the defense work behind him. 2-1. Check swing, foul.
Yeah, you referenced it there. It'll be an interesting matchup between a pitcher who is not really known for his strikeout stuff against a lineup that has been put away a lot by the strikeout. Interesting to see if the Thunderbolts will be able to square up Weatherhold early in this game or if he'll be able to up his strikeout rate.
Dawson last pitched over a week ago against the Crop Dusters. 2-2. Spoiled foul. And Weatherall, the guy that just loves to pitch. He'll take any opportunity he gets. Kind of a coach's dream in terms of his attitude. He always shows up, he's going to go to work, and he's going to give you his best.
Yeah, that's definitely something you look for out of a bullpen arm, and he's been fortunate enough to get a start in this game here this evening.
Strike 3 called. Herta set down looking, and that will do it for the top of 1. Thunderbolts lead 1-0. Senators bats for the first time tonight after this short pause on the Senators Baseball Network.
A warm, sunny afternoon, hot dog in hand, water in the other, watching a baseball game. What's better than that? Well, not much. If you want to make that fantasy a reality, you can check out the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Founded in 2006, the Blue Crabs are part of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Search somdbluecrabs.com to get tickets today. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Southern Maryland's only pro sports team. Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com.
Senators set to come to the plate for the first time this evening. We highlight Nick Flores. He's been very good recently, was 2 for 5 last night. Couple of doubles in that game and was a big part of the Senators' offense that really didn't get too much going.
Yeah, the Senators were off to a good start in that game, but unfortunately they weren't able to keep up with the crop dusters throughout that contest.
Yeah, 2 runs in the first 2 innings for Southern Maryland. They led going into the top of the 4th inning. From there, the pitching just sort of unraveled. At least 2 runs in each of the last 4 innings for only last night. Senators looking to improve this evening as far as the pitching goes, and the bats will have to back it up.
Yeah, you referenced the top of the 4th yesterday. That was really when things started to implode for the Senators. Unfortunately, they weren't able to keep that momentum rolling from the first 3 throughout the game.
Nick Flores has played an absolute gauntlet of baseball this season. During the college campaign, he played 51 of 52 games over at VCU. Had an impressive .295 average. This is hit on the ground to short. Vazo throws on to Brayton Foster in time, 1 away.
Yeah, good stretch there by Foster. Ball a little high and to the left, but he was able to corral it to retire Flores at first.
And here comes the speedster, Adam Truck. Boy, is this kid something special, Max.
Yeah, he's done pretty well recently here. 6 of his last 15. He's scored 7 times in that same amount of time.
An early 1-0 lead for the Thunderbolts. Senators are going to try to get some early offense like they did last night. That was the trend on that 9-game winning streak back early in the season. They dropped the first game of the campaign and then won 9 in a row. Hit sharply to Vazo. He makes a nice pick and guns down Truck for out number 2.
Yeah, 2 good plays there from Vazo early in this contest. Good defense you like to see from your shortstop.
And we highlighted it in pregame, but this is Logan Tribble. 11 for his last 18 at the plate. It just feels unbelievable.
Yeah, Tribble is definitely on a hot streak here entering this contest, looking to continue it into the playoffs for the Senators.
Second in the league in batting average as well. Scott Middleton told our very own Drew Owens pregame that he's looking to take that league batting title.
Yeah, when you got a .383 average, he's also walked 14 times this season. Probably feels like he's on base just about every time he goes into that box.
Harry smacks one into left field. That'll get down and roll to the wall. Tribble around first, digging for second. Heard us throw in, will not be in time.
Yeah, great drive to left field there.
Let's tell you about our umpiring crew today. Matt Powers back behind home plate. Dante Montgomery at first base. He was at third last night. And then Roland Hines, the third base umpire this evening. This brings a guy who is all too familiar with driving in runs, Steven Krause.
Yeah, Krause 0 for 3 yesterday, but he was able to record an RBI with a sacrifice fly in that contest. He'll need a hit here to drive in a run, but we'll see if he can continue that streak of lots of RBIs over the last few contests.
Yeah, an incredible stretch. 2 for his last 12, but 7 runs batted in. Lifted to center field. Sturdivant will make the catch to retire the side.
Yeah, good contact there. Just a little bit too much air underneath the ball. That'll put away the side for the Senators. Thunderbolts up in the second half of the inning.
If you want to stay up to date with all things Senators, follow the collegiate team's social media accounts. You can follow the team at Southern MD Senators on Instagram or Go SOMD Senators on X to keep up with the team. You'll get score updates, final score graphics, access to articles, and so much more. Go check out the Senators on social media and don't miss a moment this season. We've got an offer you won't want to miss out on. Over the summer, the Senators collegiate team will be hosting a youth baseball camp throughout June and July, available to ages 7 through 14. Take the opportunity to get personalized advice from Senators players and coaches and elevate your game to the next level. For specific dates and times, go to somdsenators-cal.com to learn more.
Family affair up in the booth today. Cody Wagner joined alongside my brother Max Wagner. Glad to have you along for the Senators and Thunderbolts. This is a game with plenty of playoff implication. Senators trying to get a bye in the first round. They would do so with a win this evening. So the message pretty simple before this game from Scott Middleton. Go out, do your job, and win.
Yeah, you saw Weatherold. He did his job in that first inning there. He gave up 1 run, but making a spot start here, it's definitely a good start to the ball game for him.
And what do you think is the psyche for Dawson Weatherall? It's certainly got to be a tough position to – you're just getting ready, starting to maybe get a little loose, and then all of a sudden you're making a start in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I would say you can't approach it too different from the way you would approach a regular call to the bullpen. You just got to go through your regular bullpen routine. I would not suggest starting anything of a starter's routine at that point.
And how different are those two? I know you yourself, a former pitcher, you've pitched both out of the bullpen and in a starting role.
Yeah, out of the bullpen, you typically know that you're going to come in that game, but you don't know when it might be. You know, if you have a starter that struggles early in the game, or even in an unfortunate situation like this, if there's a pregame injury, you might have to come in early. So it's just getting up, getting hot quick, just throwing lots of fastballs, getting your arm loose as quick as you can.
2-2. Foul off by the catcher, Vance Bonwar. Hitting .264 this season. First time he's played against Southern Maryland this year. Whole number of those guys on this Thunderbolts team, and they've just had a tough time getting into a rhythm, as we mentioned, because they've got so many guys on the squad.
Yeah, just counting the amount of players down there during the national anthem. You saw on the Senators side, you have 15 players, so you got the majority of the guys actually in the lineup. Over on the Thunderbolts side, you got 20-plus players, so obviously less than half those guys are in the active lineup on any given evening.
Quality at bat for Bonwar, who works a leadoff walk in the second. How important is it to get leadoff runners aboard? How much of a difference does that make?
It definitely impacts the pitcher. You know, a reliever here like Weatherold, he should be used to pitching out of the stretch since he'll fairly regularly come in with runners on base, so it shouldn't be too big of an impact.
This is on the ground foul.
getting those leadoff guys on base much more is impactful against a starting pitcher typically, since they're not used to pitching out of that stretch as often as a reliever is.
Yeah, and what do you think the thought and sort of difference is for relievers always pitching out of the set position like Weatherall does? He always pitches out of the stretch regardless of anyone being gone, versus a reliever that pitches out of the windup. Do you think you should do either way, or it doesn't really matter?
I would say it really depends on some of your coach's input is what I would value there.
So Smale takes the easy play to first, and there's one away in the second.
You know, sometimes if guys have these real long, complex windups, pitching coach will want them to shorten that windup, just have them go from the set position to simplify things, fill up the zone, and that's really important out of the bullpen, right? If you're coming in with runners on base, you got to get the ball in the zone quickly. Starters, you have a little bit more leniency to be able to find the zone early in a contest.
Aiden Driscoll swings through the first pitch in the dirt. He's played all over throughout this season, a little first base, some outfield catching as well.
Yeah, certainly interesting to see a catcher playing out in right field this evening.
Yeah, and part of that has to do with all the guys on the team. You got to find a way to play Driscoll at least somewhere, right?
Right, yeah. So you have, I think, 3 or 4 catchers on the Thunderbolts roster, so sometimes you'll have to find them different spots, whether that's first base, right field, to get them at bats so they're able to stay fresh.
Driscoll plays college ball at the University of Maryland, and this pitch will get past Nichols. Advancing up goes Bonwar, and this was the problem last night for the Senators. Crop dusters stole all sorts of bases, and then some mistakes that you really just can't afford.
Yeah, it looked like a ball in the dirt there for Nichols that he unfortunately came up a little too high on and went right below in the 5-hole against him.
We will have Jax Nichols on the broadcast a little later. He told me that he will be pulled from the game and then wants to come on the broadcast, so we will have that as a treat for you late in the game.
Yeah, certainly a situation here for the Thunderbolts. You got a runner on third base, 1 out. Just looking to get a ball in play here from Driscoll. Just about anything will score a run here as the Senators' defense is playing back around the infield.
Driscoll, the number 3 catcher in the state of Massachusetts, coming out of high school, class of 24. Rips one right at the second baseman. Nice snag by Dawson Smale for out number 2.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a little more of the ball caught Smale than Smale finding the ball there. Not much reaction time on that. Hard hit line drive. Fortunately, he was right in front of the ball there.
And this is Caleb Sturdivant putting it together recently, Max, after a tough start to this season.
Yeah, 3 for 12 entering the contest here. He scored 3 times, driven in 3 runners, so he's definitely having a better go at it here lately.
Well, he's hitting .098 on the year, but he seems to always find his way on base. He somehow has a .353 on-base percentage despite an .098 batting average.
Yeah, he started off on a really cold spell here with the Thunderbolts. Started 0 for 35, almost a month of hitless baseball from the start of June into early July.
And those 3 hits yesterday were massive for the average for Sturdivant. Big day against the Grays. Pulls one foul.
Yeah, good hit ball over there. Just a little early on it above the Legends Club out there in left field.
And Brock Hunter has an easy time putting Sturdivant in the lineup because of the amount in which he reaches base. That's why he's in the 9 spot, to try to turn over the order and have a runner on for the top of the lineup.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive to be able to stay within yourself and be able to reach the base pass at such a clip, even though you're struggling to get hits when you're putting the ball in play.
Yeah, you certainly got to think that's tough mentally. And he's got a 5-pitch walk.
And there you see it again, an ability to get on base any way possible. So first and third here for the Thunderbolts.
Sturdivant as patient as they come, and the lineup card flips over back to David Vazzo. Singled in the first inning, came around to score. Only run in this game for either side. Top two, Senators and Thunderbolts. Glad to have you along with us on the Senators Baseball Network.
Be interesting to see here if the Thunderbolts put any sort of first and third play on here. Given their low stolen base rate, it's something you don't really think you'll see, but might be an opportunity to squeeze a run out here early.
Yeah, last in the league in steals this season, just 30 on the entire campaign. And Scott Middleton will come have a chat with Dawson Weatherald. Weatherald, a Southern Maryland kid, had a relationship with Middleton growing up, coming through the young ranks. Also played in this Senators youth organization, so he's very well acquainted with Southern Maryland baseball and with the Senators organization. And he's just a guy that you love to have on your team, competes, wants to play, wants to pitch whenever he gets the opportunity, and just has a love for the game.
Yeah, great to see a local kid from the youth program here in the Collegiate Summer League here with the Senators.
Yeah, and it just kind of gives a future picture for those kids coming up through the youth organization. Had a summer camp as well last week in which the collegiate players helped run. Heard that they had an opposite hand home run contest the other day.
Yeah, those are always fun when you're able to bring out the kids, do something a little abnormal, something you're not used to doing every day, spice things up towards the dog days, end of the season here.
Apparently Steven Krause hit 5 in 7 outs, which is incredible considering he was having to hit right-handed. It was with one of the youth-juiced bats, of course, that these guys can hit pretty far, but still ridiculous. Wasn't here. It was at a park where it's about 225 to the corners, so a little more doable.
Yeah, certainly something different. You have these summer baseball leagues, a lot of them around the country, including the Cal Ripken Senior League, will have wood bats, just getting these guys prepared for the next level. In college, they're able to use the BB Core, which is a new regulated bat, and some of those youth bats, they really get some juice in them, so you're able to see some fireworks like you saw from Krause in that Little League home run derby.
So Weatherall just one strike away from getting out of the second inning, which would be all important for the Senators to blank the T-Bolts in this frame.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of activity on those base paths out there, but fortunately enough, Weatherall's been able to hold them to 1 run so far in the game.
One stranded in the first for the T-Bolts. 2-2 outside.
Full count here with 2 outs. You'll see Sturdivant from first base on the run with the pitch.
Vazo has really slowed down as the season's gone along, but there he's able to work a walk. And it's bases loaded with 2 outs. Now you really got to clamp down.
Yeah, nowhere on base to put this next batter here. So Pavel, you're going to look to get him out here. He's been on a bit of a skid entering this contest, so you look to continue that if you're Weatherald here.
So Griffin Pouvel up to the plate. He's got all sorts of opportunities here.
Yeah, he was part of that early offense here for the Thunderbolts, able to get a single in the first inning.
He was the sole man left stranded. David Vazo was knocked home on a Bryce Curry sacrifice fly to left field. That's nice execution.
Yeah, good pitch on the outside edge there. Brings the count even to 1-1.
Pouvel wears that one, and that will send home a run. It's 2-0. Thunderbolts in front.
Yeah, that protective equipment there will certainly earn that RBI for Pouvel there. It'll bring in the second run of the evening for the Thunderbolts.
Disappointing result for Dawson Weatherall, who's trying to get as far as he can this evening. That kind of the MO for Dawson Weatherall this evening. Just go as far as humanly possible, because there are not many arms ready to go out in the arm barn, so to speak, for the Senators.
Yeah, 2 1/3, the longest outing you've seen from Weatherald this season. Scott Middleton will definitely look to get more length out of him this evening as he looks to preserve some of those arms for the postseason.
Yeah, you said it, partner. Middleton just placing much more importance on what happens in the playoffs compared to tonight. Popped in the air behind second base. Flores will haul it in to end the inning. Thunderbolts stack on one more in the top of 2. It's 2-0. T-Bolts in front.
Need industry-leading equipment for leaf blowers, lawnmowers, boat trailers, and more? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Need maintenance or repair on equipment? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Family owned and operated, they take pride in everything they do. They have a reputation for fixing what others can't. For more on equipment and repair, check out GuyBrothersMarine.com today. Guy Brothers Marine. Their commitment to serving customers is priority one. Seeking investment management help? Well, look no further than GDS Investments. With over 20 years of experience, Glenn Surwick has the knowledge and experience to help you make informed investment decisions. The company maintains full transparency, allowing you to view your account activity at any time so there are no delays or surprises. Go to gdsinvestments.com today to learn more. GDS Investments, there to guide you when the winds change.
Bottom of the second inning, Senators and Thunderbolts. Silver Spring in front, 2-0. They have looked good offensively this evening, scoring in each of the first 2 innings. To lead things off in the bottom of 2 is Danny Surwick, trying to jumpstart the offense for Scott Middleton and company. Still out on the mound is Zach Danielchek. He is a 6'5" right-hander out of the University of Tampa. Surwick first pitch swing and ropes it foul.
Daniel checking his 6th start of the season here. He's bringing a 4.5 ERA into the contest.
Doesn't walk a whole ton of batters, just 8 across 20 innings. Has given up 22 hits in that time.
Yeah, that'll be a 1.5 whip on the season for Danielchek, so quite a bit of base runners usually in his starts.
Yeah, and whip stands for walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, and it's exactly as you said, pretty much just the amount of base runners you allow per inning.
Yeah, under 1, you're very elite. Above 1.5, you're starting to get quite a bit of traffic on base. 2 is there's always somebody on base out there almost every inning for you.
1-2. Backs him up. Danny Surwick homered the last time out against the Thunderbolts. That was on June 30th. These teams have not met in the month of July. Serves one back up the middle, backhanded by Cutney. There will be no play to be had at first.
Yeah, Cutney really should have probably just ate that ball once he wasn't able to get a clean grip on it on that first attempt to go into the glove. Should have just let it be an infield single. Fortunately enough, the catcher Boynar was able to get down that line and back up the first baseman there on that play.
And so Carter Groen will come to the plate. He's produced some big moments this season, despite the average being a little bit down from a year ago, but it's understandable after he had just video game numbers a season ago.
Yeah, 3 for his last 9. He's starting to heat up a little bit. Hopefully it's something that a sign of things to come in the postseason for the Senators and Grown, who was such a pivotal part in their campaign last year.
Batted over 340, was tied for the league in home runs with Andrew Williamson. That was 10 homers each of them had. This season it is far below that, but the home run king resides with the Thunderbolts. He's not in the lineup this evening. Groen throws the bat that time.
Yeah, maybe needed a little stick-em there for the end of this at-bat to hold on to that bat. Teammate Nichols there inspecting the grip, making sure that it's safe for play to continue.
And the most home runs in this league at the moment, that is Brady Grimes with the T-Bolts. Groen a season ago was just unbelievable, and over 1,100 OPS. Fights one foul. Had that bat earlier this season against the DC Grays, where he fouled off a total of 7 pitches in a single AB.
Yeah, it's something you dread as a pitcher. Having a guy foul off 7 pitches, you just say, all right, can you just go away now? I'll give you first base even at that rate.
Surowick goes, pitches upstairs, throw to second, got him. An absolute dart by the catcher, Bonnoir, and there's one away.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw down there to second base, able to get the runner. There was not much doubt there.
Can't throw the ball much better than that down to second base. So now it's 2-2 with no men on and 1 out. Groen nubs one foul.
Yeah, it's certainly the risky run, trying to put a runner in motion early in the game like this. So you trade a runner for a out, and so now Carter Groen's up with 1 out instead of a runner on first base and none out.
Senators, though, have wanted to be a little more aggressive on the base pass. It's something Scott Middleton is willing to risk to some extent. They've got 10 steals in the last 2 games. And Groen works aboard.
Yeah, it certainly always looks like an intelligent play to be more aggressive until you got caught stealing like that, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Scott Middleton, earlier this season, he had a long discussion with Justin Hyde, the Senators' third base coach. Just wanted them to get a little more aggressive because it felt like in the middle of this season, that's why the offense slowed down to some extent. They just weren't trying to steal as many bases as they did early in the season, where they had incredible success.
Yeah, there's certainly a balance to be found there. Given that play by Bonnoir earlier in this inning, probably not going to be seeing a runner for the Senators take off for the next few innings.
Nichols, last time against the Thunderbolts, he came on as a late replacement for Chet Bowling, who actually suffered a groin injury in that game. Thought that we would miss Chet for the rest of the season. That was at least the original word from Scott Middleton, but Chet, he has returned to Waldorf today, so we'll see how long it takes for him to get reinserted into the lineup as a starter, but big to have him back coming into the playoffs.
So does that mean Chet will be making an appearance later this evening?
Not quite sure. Jax Nichols told me before the game that he'll be coming out. It will either be Jack Gagan or Chet Bowling to replace him. At least that would be the educated guess. Those are the 2 other catchers on the roster.
Yeah, it's good to have 3 catchers back in the fold for the Senators. You know, being down to 2 catchers, it can be difficult, especially when they had all those doubleheaders they were playing. Put a lot of wear and tear on those 2 catchers that they had on the roster at that point.
Yeah, it was a lot of suffering for Nichols and Bowling as Jax rips one into left field. And there's a 1-out base knock. Senators, they've got some traffic in the second.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 34, MJ 6'7" Phillips.
And so much has been made of Jax Nichols and what he's been able to do throughout the season, producing big-time hits. And there's one a moment ago trying to get out of what was a little bit of a slump. He was 0 for his last 10. MJ Phillips takes a first pitch strike.
Yeah, it's surprising to see Nichols struggling because it looked like he saw the ball very well there and a good drive out to left field.
Well, MJ Phillips, a really unique situation. 18 walks, 21 strikeouts. So not a lot of balls in play necessarily in general for Phillips. His ABs or plate appearances for that matter are normally decided at the plate. One, two. Foul. MJ Phillips, he had a fun time yesterday operating in the PA booth. It's to our immediate right here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Just a beautiful setup, a place that seats 6,200. Swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, and there's two down. First bunch out of the evening for Zach Danielcheck, and that brings up Dawson Smale. A guy trying to turn over this lineup for Scott Middleton. He's won for his last 11, but 6 strikeouts in that time.
Yeah, an RBI opportunity here for Smale with Carter Grown out there at second base looking to drive him in.
Controversy surrounded Smale earlier this season. That was against the DC Grays. It was ruled that he had pine tar far too high up his bat. And because of that, an RBI single from him was wiped off the board and he was ruled out.
Yeah, you wonder if that's something just unfamiliar with the application rules of pine tar, being typically these guys are playing college ball where they don't have the option really to use pine tar. They're typically using bat grips and batting gloves, and pine tar is something really much more commonly used with the wood bats, which is only used in the summer league for these guys.
Driven into center field. That's down in front of Sturdivant. Groen will be on home, and the Senators have their first run of the night. Southern Maryland pulls within 1 in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, great drive there to center field there, and Groen able to come in from second base. Is Smale able to record his first RBI of the game.
Top of the order with Nick Flores, the shortstop. Been pretty darn consistent throughout the season, yet has slowed down a little bit in the month of July, hitting .225. That compared to a fantastic first half of the season where he hit .329.
Yeah, certainly looking to continue that success from yesterday where he was 2 for 5, both of those hits being doubles.
All things told, a relatively slow night for the Senators as a whole on the batting side. They lost 13-4 against the Crop Dusters. Only just had everything working.
Yeah, only really turned up their offense in that fourth inning, and the Senators just didn't match it throughout that contest.
1-1. Hit on the ground to short. Vazo will flip to the second base bag, and that will do it for the bottom of 2. Senators able to crack the scoring column, and it's 2-1. Thunderbolts in front right here on the Senators Baseball Network. We're back for the third inning after this.
Thermal Comfort provides heating and air conditioning for newly constructed custom homes in Northern Virginia and select areas in Maryland. They service all systems, operational or non-operational, while providing free estimates for new systems. Go to thermalcomfortllc.com and choose the easier way to upgrade your heating and cooling system. If you want to stay up to date with all things Senators, follow the collegiate team's social media accounts. You can follow the team at Southern MD Senators on Instagram or Go SOMD Senators on X to keep up with the team. You'll get score updates, final score graphics, access to articles, and so much more. Go check out the Senators on social media and don't miss a moment this season. Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com.
Dawson Weatherall out for his third inning of work, and if he can get through this one, it would be his longest appearance this season, and albeit on a late notice start this evening. Before the game, Jace Kinane, who was the original slated starter, he came up injured, so Dawson Weatherall, forced to make the start, only became aware of it about 15 minutes before this one.
Yeah, definitely a difficult situation there for Weatherall. You know, you hear about a teammate going down, but then it's your turn to get ready, and you got to go out there and record some outs quickly thereafter.
Certainly a tough situation for him, and he draws Nolan Cutney here in the third inning. Cutney's got hits in 15 of 20 contests this season. Been pretty much an everyday starter for the Thunderbolts, at least the closest to that they've got on this team. They have played 33 games this season, and that's a 4-pitch walk for Cutney.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want to start this third inning if you're Weatherall.
Weatherall, the guy that walks a decent amount of batters, had walked 11 batters across 11 innings coming in tonight. He's walked 4 in this contest. Something Scott Middleton and this coaching staff will absolutely not excuse. They just hate handing out free passes. They want their pitchers to throw strikes, and the Senators staff has largely obliged this season. They walked the second fewest of any team in the league. Thunderbolts walked the fewest. These are also 2 lineups, though, that don't get on base a ton with the walks. 7th in the league for the T-Bolts and dead last for the Senators. Cutney off of first base, only 1 steal this season, as Herta pops one up. Foul ground, long run for Surwick, who puts it away for the first out of the inning. Nice play by the third baseman.
Yeah, you saw Surwick and Jax Nichols going hard after that ball. Surwick taking the priority over Nichols there, telling him it is his baseball.
And so there's 1 away in the third inning, and Vance Bonnoir comes to the plate. The starting catcher. 3 catchers on this roster. One of them making the start behind the dish in Bonnoir, and then another in right field tonight. That's Aiden Driscoll.
Yeah, big swing there from Bonnoir on the first pitch of that at-bat.
Thunderbolts not a team that's going to run a whole lot. Almost the antithesis to the strategy of the DC Grays, who run any chance they get. They're a team that plays small ball, and they're right nipping at the heels of the Senators. If they get the right results this evening, they can get a bye in the playoffs. This is popped to Steven Krause, who will make the catch. There's two gone.
Yeah, really interesting to see two foul ball outs in the first two batters of this, the most recent two batters of this inning.
Yeah, and that's two big outs for Dawson Weatherall, especially for them not to be productive and keep the runner aboard first. Because it's a team in the Thunderbolts, as we said, that's not going to steal a whole lot themselves. They will take moments of pass balls and wild pitches, but they're not going to create much action on the base pass.
Yeah, definitely a relief there for Jax Nichols as well as the pitching staff for the Senators after they had issues with the crop dusters yesterday. Stole almost double digits yesterday.
So Braden Foster, a switch hitter, not many of them in this entire league, only a total of 5. Senators don't have a single one. Becomes more and more common as you look up the ranks of baseball.
Yeah, so what do you think they'd have Foster do if he was at that Little League camp with the Senators, since he doesn't really have a non-dominant side?
Well, I mean, thankfully they didn't run into that predicament, but yeah, certainly would have been an interesting decision there, and Foster works a quick walk. So that'll bring up Aiden Driscoll with 2 outs in the inning. And Jax Nichols out to talk with Dawson Weatherall.
Yeah, after a 4-pitch walk like that, typically you'll see the catcher go out and just give his starter out there a second to breathe. And you also see an arm out there in the bullpen warming up for the Senators, so give him some time to get a little hotter in case Scott Middleton decides to go to the bullpen here in this inning.
Okay, so we're keeping an eye around the league tonight, especially at the Grays game. They're over against the Crop Dusters. That plays a massive impact on what happens with Southern Maryland. At the moment, the score, 12-0, only in front. Hoping no one pressed some wrong buttons because, boy, that game pretty much already out of hand.
Yeah, that would certainly be a welcome sign for the Senators if that result is able to hold up there for the Crop Dusters.
And it feels like the Crop Dusters are getting hot at the right moment. Had a big offensive performance last night against Southern Maryland. They're all able to find the zone that time. And the problem for the Grays this evening, they have walked a ton of batters. Only 4 hits for the Crop Dusters as this pulled foul.
Yeah, interesting situation there. You saw the lead runner from second base running for third, something you don't typically see there with 2 outs. But Cutney must have seen something that he felt like he could get a jump on.
Yeah, and Cutney himself, not the most avid base stealer. Only 1 this season. The 2-2. Bouncer foul.
Yeah, foul went off there right down into the batter's box, catching Driscoll, so it was a dead ball once that happens.
Driscoll never an easy out. He finished 1 for 7 with an RBI and a run scored on Sunday against the Grays. That was a doubleheader. He works the count full.
Yeah, runners will be off here with the full count with 2 outs.
3-2. Fought foul. Back up towards the booth.
And they'll try it again after that foul ball. You'll see the runners off again here, looking to score at least 1 if you get anything to the outfield grass, maybe 2 if something's able to get into a gap here.
Payoff pitch. Jam shot, foul territory. Surowick makes the running grab to retire the side.
That might be the first time I've seen something like that. All 3 outs recorded this inning in foul territory. 2 for Serwick, 1 for Kraus.
And so that will do it for the top of 3. Thunderbolts leave 2 stranded. Senators bats back up, trying to build some momentum in the bottom of 3. 2-1, Thunderbolts in front.
Eternal Couture Sports makes your design ideas come to life. From sports uniforms to vehicle lettering, custom t-shirts, yard signs, and more, EC Sports has you covered. They're ready to suggest new design ideas for your company logo, team uniforms, or personal apparel. Based in Waldorf, Maryland, EC Sports is here to match your design needs. To learn more, visit ecsportsdmv.net today. If you or your child is searching for a youth baseball team, you're looking in the right place. The Maryland Senators Elite Travel Baseball Team competes in tournaments and showcases around the country. Featuring teams from 8 to 18U, the Senators work hard to prepare players for the next level by teaching confidence, a winning attitude, and the importance of character by being a great student, teammate, and individual. Get more information by searching MarylandSenators.com, the place to be for travel baseball in Maryland.
Adam Trock hitting second as he has all season. Has played in all but 2 games this year for Southern Maryland, and he has been absolutely fantastic. Speedy center fielder. Southern Maryland only trails by 1 run going to the bottom of the 3rd, and they've gotten a quality start out of Dawson Weatherald, especially considering the situation he makes it in. This is on the ground to first. Foster will take it himself. There's 1 down.
Yeah, an assistant put out there for Foster. Pretty good struck ball there by Trock, just right to the first baseman, Foster, down the line there.
We saw exactly this last night as well, Max. Senators swinging a lot more first pitches their second time through the order. What do you think that is? Just further confidence against this pitching?
Yeah, it's something you see conventionally, trying to get a feel for the pitches that pitcher might have in their arsenal that first time through, but second time you're looking for that fastball, and once you see it, you want to drive it.
Zach Danielchek still remains on the mound. He's a 6'5" right-hander. Junior out of the University of Tampa, had a 3.63 ERA there this season across 11 appearances.
Tribble certainly a bright spot in yesterday's game, as we referenced, having 2 hits, drawing a walk, swiping 2 bags.
Boy, has he been a big returner for Scott Middleton this summer. A season ago was pretty quality, batted .225, but that is nothing compared to his .383 average this season, ranked 2nd in the league. On the ground to 3rd, Curry on to Foster at first. There's 2 away.
Up to bat, first base, number 2, Steven the Tank Kraus.
Senators got a lot of base runners on in that second inning, but now here in the 3rd, quickly 2 outs. Southern Maryland left 2 on in the 2nd. Scott Middleton really wanting to limit that number. Felt his guys did a great job early on this season to do that as Kraus gets into one deep into the right field corner. Kraus hustling around first. He's into second and will try for 3. Cut off by Vazzo. No throw to 3rd. 3rd triple on the season for Steven Kraus. And now he's just 90 feet away for Serwick. In an instant, things can change like that.
Number 22, Danny Serwick.
Yeah, Kraus able to put himself in scoring position there for Serwick. Serwick looking to continue his success against the Thunderbolts this season. 3 for 7 with his lone home run in the season coming against the Thunderbolts.
When Steven Kraus hit a triple earlier this season, he had told our reporter Drew Owens that he hadn't done that in 2 or 3 years, and now he's got 3 this season.
Yeah, it sounds like Kraus has got about a decade's worth of triples here this summer, so something you love to see there.
Serwick takes inside. Danny's got 2 home runs this season, can hit with some legit power, 1 against the Crop Dusters, 1 against the T-Bolts. So he puts a charge into one the opposite way. Foul.
Squared that ball up well, just a little bit behind it there. One above the Legends Club again out there in left field.
Two, 1. Just misses.
Yeah, a little high there from Daniel Check.
You're seeing Serwick much more patient than the batters before him. He draws a 5-pitch walk.
Yeah,
2 men aboard.
Not much there for Serwick to hit, so he's just going to take his free base and hand it down to Carter Groen, the next guy in line.
Groen has been much better with the plate discipline as of late. He's got 2 walks in his last 9 ABs. Only 2 strikeouts as well, which has been the concerning number throughout this season, Max.
Yeah, certainly struggled in his first outing against the Thunderbolts with 3 strikeouts.
Bounce to third, gloved by Curry. He will gun Groen down to end the inning. Senators leave 2 on in the third. It's 2-1 Thunderbolts on the Senators Baseball Network. We're back for the 4th after these messages.
Thermal Comfort provides heating and air conditioning for newly constructed custom homes in Northern Virginia and select areas in Maryland. They service all systems, operational or non-operational, while providing free estimates for new systems. Go to thermalcomfortllc.com and choose the easier way to upgrade your heating and cooling system. The newest addition to the Senators family is the Maryland Lady Senators softball team. With an 18U team forming 14U and 10U teams, the Lady Senators coaches and staff strive to help players reach their fullest potential both on and off the field. With the team just finishing their 2nd season, you can join in the future by registering at ladysenators.com. Whether you're a player or aspire to work a job in sports, the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate Baseball League is the right place for you. With over 250 players each year, the Cal Ripken League helps showcase talent in a competitive environment. If you're seeking a job in sports, the Cal Ripken League offers media and photography internships. To learn more, visit calripkenleague.org today.
Thunderbolts trying to get some offense going. They've got 2 runs, but have left 6 runners on base. Left them loaded back in the 2nd inning, then left 2 on in the 3rd. Max, what do they have to do to get these guys in?
Yeah, some of it's just being able to put balls in play. You know, that first inning they watched a strike 3 looking, and just being able to put that ball in play will do wonders for trying to drive runners in.
Yeah, and for the T-Bolts, they've only gotten a total of 2 base hits this evening. A lot of it has been walks. Weatherald has walked a total of 5 tonight. Also hit a batter as well.
Yeah, we heard the Ring of Fire playing there during break, and I feel like that's very fitting for this outing for Weatherold here. He's been playing in that Ring of Fire, 6 runners stranded on base. He's had runners all over the place today.
It's a shot. Surwick makes a nice snag for out number 1.
Yeah, Sturdivant, guy struggling this year with a 0.98 average. Having balls hit like that are recorded as outs is just heartbreaking for a guy like that.
So back to the top of the order for this Brock Hunter-made lineup. This is David Vazzo. 1 for 1, a walk in the second inning, single back in the first, and came around to score. First run of this contest.
He was able to square one up there and drive it out into right field on the early in that first inning.
Vazzo, really his only weakness this summer has been the strikeout numbers. He's gone down and strike 17 times. He can really punish a team, though. Best offensive performance this season was back on June 11th against the Grays. Had 2 RBIs and a double and a triple. He skies one into shallow left. This will be Tribble, who will call for it and put it away for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you see Flores and Surwick giving way to the left fielder Tribble there, as the outfielder always has priority on those fly balls like that.
And we got to give some love to the catcher, Jax Nichols, who immediately as that ball goes into the air screams talk, making sure those guys know what's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely a good reminder out there for all those fielders that they need to talk and communicate on fly balls like that, because sometimes you get so focused on the ball just trying to go make the catch that sometimes you end up with too many guys trying to go make the catch.
So this is Griffin Pouvel, guy having a solid night against the Senators. He's jammed foul. Had a single in the first inning, hit by pitch in the second. That actually counted as an RBI. Bases were loaded and Weatherald hit him on the left elbow. Pouvel, not much of a power bat in this order. Hasn't had an extra base hit since the middle of June.
Yeah, Pavel struggled here as of late.
Lifts one out to right field. Long run for Groen, who's able to make the grab and end the inning. 3 up, 3 down in the fourth. Just what the doctor ordered for Dawson Weatherald, who's had a pretty darn good start tonight. 2-1. Thunderbolts in front. We go bottom 4 on the Senators Baseball Network.
Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com. A warm, sunny afternoon, hot dog in hand, water in the other, watching a baseball game. What's better than that? Well, not much. If you want to make that fantasy a reality, you can check out the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Founded in 2006, the Blue Crabs are part of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Search somdbluecrabs.com to get tickets today. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Southern Maryland's only pro sports team. Seeking investment management help? Well, look no further than GDS Investments. With over 20 years of experience, Glenn Surwick has the knowledge and experience to help you make informed investment decisions. The company maintains full transparency, allowing you to view your account activity at
Jax Nichols will lead things off in the bottom of the fourth. He will join me later in the broadcast. Told me pregame that he will be pulled from the game at some point as a defensive replacement. That will likely either be Chet Bowling for the Senators or as well another catcher they just brought in Jack Gagan. Nichols, he's had a ton of clutch moments throughout this season. Most namely, earlier in the year against the Aces on the road. That game was tied at 8 in the ninth inning. Senators were actually down by 2 going into the inning. Carter Groen launched a 2-run shot with 2 outs. Then Nichols came up and went yard himself.
Yeah, certainly one of those moments that he'll remember throughout his career, being able to hit a walk-off home run like that.
Well, Max, it's kind of been an odd one this evening. It's felt like one-way traffic a little bit as far as the runners go on base, but it's still only a 2-1 game, well in reach.
Yeah, certainly Daniel Check been able to keep runners off base at a higher rate than Weatherholds. Had a lot of traffic out there this evening, but it was good to see him keep those bases clean last inning.
Nichols able to work aboard. So big leadoff base runner. Nichols has been on both times he's been up tonight. So MJ Phillips will come up. And he's got some of the oddest numbers out there. 3 runs batted in this season, but he's got 18 walks, 21 strikeouts.
Yeah, certainly a guy that, you know, in that 3 true outcomes, the analytics age of 18 walks, 21 strikeouts, a lot of those at-bats being decided with him inside the batter's box.
Phillips came to Southern Maryland listed on the roster as a pitcher. He has batted pretty much the entire summer. He's played a little bit of first base, been a designated hitter a ton. He may be needed on the mound this evening. He's only made 1 appearance on the hill this year.
It'll be interesting. Phillips in as the DH to start this contest, and you can surrender that DH and come in as the pitcher.
Nichols, not much of a threat at first. 2-2, pulled foul. Nichols no steals this season as Senators first base coach Austin Delaney goes over to pick up that ball. Happy birthday, Austin.
Yeah, I heard it turn the big 2-7 today, so.
This is rocketed deep out to right field. There goes Driscoll, who makes a nice catch on the track. Opportune base running from Nichols, who moves up 90 feet to second.
Yeah, definitely heads up base running there to move himself into scoring position there with less than 2 outs. So we'll see Smale with an opportunity to drive him in here from second base.
For a guy that's a catcher by trade, how about that from Aiden Driscoll in the outfield? But the Senators, big opportunity here with a man in scoring position for Dawson Smale.
Yeah, definitely good job by the catchers all around there. Driscoll able to track that ball down in the right center field gap, and Nichols able to advance on that fly ball to right center field.
Scott Middleton likes to put a strong batter at the bottom of his order, a guy that can produce. Here's one in Dawson Smale, batting .200 this season. He's walked as much as he struck out. Didn't play this season as a freshman at Xavier. Because of that, He'll be transferring to Brookdale Community College. Seeing that become more and more of a trend, guys choosing to transfer to JUCOs. 1-1. Pulled on the ground at first, and it's a tough play for Foster. Kicks off of him. They'll hold Nichols at third. And there will be men at the corners with only one out.
Yeah, you can definitely tell some situational baseball there. I'm sure that if there were 2 outs, you would have seen Nichols giving the wave around third base, but with only 1 out, and then given that good throw you've seen from Driscoll from the outfield, they're going to keep Nichols at third.
Flores about as high percentage as they come. Guy that has produced a number of big moments and productive outs throughout this season. Runners off and the pitch is in the dirt.
That'll go down as a stolen base there, but would have been really difficult for the catcher Bonnoir to be able to throw out the base runner Smell in that situation.
Yeah, perfect pitch to run on there. And the infield forced to come in.
Yeah, it was a fastball just too low. Looks like they're actually going to send their infield back for the Thunderbolts. Corners in here.
As this is ripped through the left side, base hit. They're going to hold Smale. Well, actually, he runs through the stop sign, and he is dead to rights at home.
Yeah, you see Smale paying the price there for running through that stop sign.
So Nichols easily able to score. Senators have knotted up at 2. Just a little bit disappointing to have a runner thrown at home when maybe you had a couple more opportunities there.
Yeah, great hit there by Flores into left field. Unfortunately, the left fielder came up gunning there and able to throw out the second would-be run of the inning there.
Great work by Jack Herta in the outfield, knowing exactly what he's got to do.
Yeah, he came up firing on that one, and you see the Price running through the stop sign there. Definitely not a situation where you want to make an out. You could add first and third, 1 out, and move a runner over.
Trock bounces one off his foot for strike 2. 6 of his last 15 at the plate. 4 walks in that time, 4 stolen bases. He's an absolute nuisance on the base paths.
Yeah, it definitely can be impactful to a pitching staff when you got a guy who steals as many bases as Trock does.
Also got to mention 7th in the league in batting average. Right up there close to Tribble, who's 2nd. Runners off. This is slapped towards the left side, out of play.
And the ball bounced in the stands and bounced back in play. It looked like it almost might have been an out if this were banana ball.
Had the Crop Dusters in town last night, wearing some uniforms reminiscent of the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the trend of anybody trying to get around anything Savannah Banana-like in the game of baseball, whether it's uniforms, whether it's the 500,000 people on the wait list.
So Foster makes a nice play at first to pick it out of the dirt and retire the side. Senators able to score 1 in the 4th. We are all tied at 1 apiece. Going to the 5th inning, Thunderbolts and Senators. You won't want to miss this one. We have a tie ball game going to the 5th.
Thermal Comfort provides heating and air conditioning for newly constructed custom homes in Northern Virginia and select areas in Maryland. They service all systems, operational or non-operational, while providing free estimates for new systems. Go to thermalcomfortllc.com and choose the easier way to upgrade your heating and cooling system. In need of trash pickup service? Well, look no further than Evergreen Disposal. With over 2 generations of experience, a family-owned and operated business, Evergreen Disposal proudly serves Southern Maryland. The company is committed to customers and building community. They provide service to homeowners associations, individual houses, and commercial, construction, and industrial locations. Once you switch, you'll never look back. To start using Evergreen Disposal, go to evergreendisposal.com or call 240-468-6677. That's 240-468-6677 to change to a community-based organization. Evergreen Disposal. If you or your child is searching for a youth baseball team, you're looking in the right place. The Maryland Senators Elite Travel Baseball Team competes in tournaments and showcases around the country. Featuring teams from 8 to 18U, the Senators work hard to prepare players for the next level by teaching confidence, a winning attitude, and the importance of character by being a great student, teammate, and individual. Get more information by searching MarylandSenators.com, the place to be for travel baseball in Maryland.
So here's an interesting one. Cale Vinson will come on out of the bullpen for Scott Middleton. First time he's pitched all summer. Came in midway through the season out of Middle Tennessee State University, and, well, there's not much book to be had on this guy because he hasn't pitched all year and not something he does during college ball. This is on the ground to short. Nice pick by Flores, who throws high of first, and Curry will be aboard.
Yeah, ball a little high there to Krause. Krause was able to get leather on it, but not quite reel it in there. Just a little too tall for the first baseman there.
So we can officially wrap up the night for Dawson Weatherald. He only struck out one batter, but all things told, he was able to limit the damage pretty well. Thunderbolts left 6 runners stranded against him. Only scored 2 runs against Weatherald. He threw 4 innings. And this is a bunt back to the mound. Vincent will go to second. Nice scoop by Flores. And they're only able to get 1, but it's the lead runner.
Yeah, 1-6 put out there, exactly what you want to see when a bunt's drop down like that. About the only other better outcome could be a pop-up to the pitcher, but Vincent did a good job fielding his position there. Looked a little bit more like he did at second base there yesterday than a traditional pitcher on the mound there.
And I was going to say, it's helpful to have a normal second baseman now pitching, especially in that situation where you bunt the ball and maybe it's a little too far. And we will have a pinch runner checking into this game. That is Matthew Kim, who will take over for Nolan Cutney.
Kim's certainly one of the better hitters on the team. Good to see him get in the game here.
He's 7 of his last 15. He's been on a heater, so it makes sense to get him in there.
Yeah, it was interesting to see him not in the game yesterday, but he's going to get some at-bats here in the second half of this contest.
Well, it's interesting to see Vincent on the mound. Certainly a different role than what he's done throughout the season.
The guy who originally wasn't even on the Senators roster this season.
Yeah, the first time the Senators ran into this predicament where they had to have some batters pitch, he wasn't even on the team. It was MJ Phillips and Dawson Smale who ended up throwing in that game. That was against the Grays here at Regency Furniture.
Yeah, Smale has now backfilled Vincent's spot at second base yesterday to allow Vincent to be on the mound. And we expected this coming into the game that you might see something unconventional here as Middleton's trying to save arms for the playoffs.
And you may still need Smale and Phillips potentially as well. MJ has been a pitcher at the college level. Dawson Smale hasn't pitched at college, but he pitched a lot during his high school days. Just low that time.
Yeah, that definitely looked like a good pitch there. Must have just missed the zone low there.
You can tell not necessarily the same velocity as some of the everyday starters for Southern Maryland, but he's been locating it well. 3-2.
Definitely in and around
Foul
the zone.
tip, strike 3. Senators dugout absolutely losing their minds as there's 2 away.
Yeah, I'm sure the Senators dugout will remind Herter of that next at-bat that he got struck out in the inaugural debut here for Vincent on the mound.
Nice pickoff move by the second baseman.
Yeah, typically something that takes a little bit of training to develop here, but you saw a pretty good pickoff move over there to first base. Wasn't quite able to record the pickoff like Aiden Miller did yesterday against the Crop Dusters, though.
Well, something you normally see in a lot of blowouts, a position player pitching, as this is pulled foul towards the Legends Club. A place where this team eats a lot of their pregame meals. Today happened to be Chick-fil-A. Actually had Chick-fil-A with you earlier in the day as well, so doubled up, but who doesn't love Chick-fil-A?
Can never go wrong with the Chick-fil-A, so
One
twice as nice.
in there, strike two.
Yeah, you can hear some heckling from that Senators dugout telling the batter here, Bonnoir, to take a swing at something.
This is swung at, pulled on the ground to Surwick, and a nice stretch by Kraus to end the inning. So Cale Vincent pretty cleanly gets out of the fifth inning. Only runner on was on an error. So we had bottom five tied at 2, Senators and Thunderbolts. It's been a fun one so far. What twists and turns do we have coming up? Only time will tell.
Need industry-leading equipment for leaf blowers, lawnmowers, boat trailers, and more? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Need maintenance or repair on equipment? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Family owned and operated, they take pride in everything they do. They have a reputation for fixing what others can't. For more on equipment and repair, check out GuyBrothersMarine.com today. Guy Brothers Marine, their commitment to serving customers is priority one. Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com.
We welcome you back to Waldorf. 2-2 your score, Senators and Thunderbolts. It's been a great game tonight as Logan Tribble will lead things off in the bottom of 5. Boy, do we have a treat for you. Cody Wagner now joined by Jax Nichols, the starting catcher in this game for the Senators. And Jax, you had one heck of a day at the plate, buddy.
It was fun, man. I got 2 at-bats today. Coach told me I was only going to get half the game today with playoffs coming up and stuff like that. But, yeah, first at-bat, so I was seeing it well. Got a fastball, 3-2 count. Should have hit the fastball 3-1 count, but swung at it, swung and missed at it, but 3-2 count. I got it again and got a line drive to the 6 hole.
It's a nice play off the mound by Daniel Check. Go ahead.
Second at bat, got 3-0 count, 3 easy balls. Came back with a strike, and then I got another ball right there, so I got a 4-pitch walk. Start off the inning, it was good.
Yeah, and then you're always so vocal. What is it? You just have such good relationships with these pitchers, and you make it almost simple for these guys to get hyped up.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I love to see my pitchers compete and dominate on the mound, man. It's awesome to see that, especially when they love it just as much as I do, man. I love to see them dominate and pound the zone and get outs as quickly as possible. And I think me being vocal and helping them out the best way I can is gonna put forth some good effort and some good outings by them.
Is that something you've kind of always possessed, just a love for the game and always hyping up your guys?
Oh, absolutely. Even when we're in the dugout hitting, man, I'm always screaming. I'm always cheering for my guys. But behind the plate, it's locked in, and I don't really hear nothing else besides me and that pitcher and every other seventh man on that field. And I love playing with these guys. It's awesome.
What is it that you enjoy? The catching position, it's a little different. You're the only guy looking out at the rest of the field, got a little bit of a different perspective. What is it that you like most about being a catcher?
Oh, you're never bored. You're never bored catching. You're in every single play. So you got to be locked in every single play. And sometimes that ball is ripped out the right center field. Is Steven Cross has a nice rope. It's his second one of the night. Will
Yeah,
he go
we'll
for
see if
third?
he can get 3 here.
Oh, no. Big boy's got to stop. But, yeah, I love catching. That's my favorite part is you're never bored. You're in every single play, and I feel like it's the most important thing, most important position about it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and then you've got a lot of confidence from Scott Middleton. He lets you guys, for the most part, call games behind the plate. What's that like, and how much do you talk with the pitcher pregame about strategies and what you're going to do for calling that game?
Right, so I came into this season knowing I was going to be calling the games. He let me know that early. But, yeah, Scott having confidence in me and the pitching staff to call our own games is awesome. Just not having to look back every time to the dugout and stuff like that. There will be times he'll step out of the dugout and call my name or something. He wants a pitch there. But other than that, yeah, I'm calling my own game, and I think I like it more that way just because it makes me more locked in. I got to read the swings. I got to read the balls that come off the bat, stuff like that. And then before the game, got to be on the same page as your starting pitcher. Every single pitcher in the bullpen, actually. If you're not on the same page and knowing what your pitcher's good at, what he's working on and stuff like that, you're gonna struggle. But all these pitchers and me are pretty confident and pretty comfortable together out there on the field.
Just talk some about Dawson Weatherald and the start he gave this team today as Sorwick lifts one out to left field. This is fairly deep for Herta, who makes the catch on the warning track, 2 gone. Just about Dawson Weatherald and what he was able to do tonight, especially considering the circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I want to say I'm praying for Jace as he go through what he's going through right now. Before the game, we were long tossing, and he unfortunately hurt his arm and blew out his elbow. And we had to call up Dawson Weatherhall, which he was the second guy that was supposed to pitch today. But yeah, he got to say about 10 minutes before the game, and yeah, he went out there and he battled. He did everything we asked him to do. Gave up 2 runs, gave up a couple hits here and there. Our defense could have had a couple more plays that helped him out a little bit, but other than that, he put us in this game for sure. He came out there and he dominated, and he left a note for sure.
Well, tell us a little bit about this guy at the plate right now, Carter Groen. He's kind of a vocal leader of this team.
He is. We call him Mr. President. He was the home run leader last year in the Cal Ripken League, but he came this year and he's dominating again, as always. But Carter's awesome, dude. He's my best friend. I love him. If he talks to you, that means he likes you. He doesn't talk a lot, but if he talks to you, he likes you, and I love that about Carter. He's to himself, but once you get to know him, he's an awesome guy. And he's big. He's strong. He hits tanks. Awesome BP hitter.
Yeah.
Awesome BP hitter. I love watching Carter take BP. He loves getting better too. He's always looking for what he can fix in his swing, stuff like that. Plus arm in the outfield, great reads. He's a good ball player. He's gonna be big one day.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that he's a hard worker, right?
Yeah.
He's always taken extra time, extra moments to talk with the coaching staff, try to figure things out. He's, for his build, you would say almost a surprisingly cerebral player, always thinking about the game.
Right, absolutely. He's let's go.
And that one's booted by the shortstop Vazo. Groen able to reach base, and there's men at the corners with 2 outs.
A good thing Groen does, if he gets down 0-2, he's still going to put up an at-bat. Like his first at-bat, I hit behind him today. But his first at-bat, he went down 0-2, and he still competed, and he had a great walk and fought back all the way to ball 4. It was awesome. It was a great at-bat from him, and he does that a lot. He grinds out at-bats. And he just, again, another player that loves the game and loves to compete.
Yeah, and then how about this new guy, Jack Gagan? He came on with the team about a week and a half ago to replace you when you were dealing with a little bit of an injury.
He is the man. Jack is the man. I love Jack. Jack, he came on the team when I faced a concussion injury. I was out for a week, and he was catching every single day. He stepped up for sure. Scott Middleton gave him a call day before, and next day he was out there with the guys suited up. And as far as he's still on the team, and he's still out there balling, man. He's a baller. Every pitcher loves him. He came in, and again, he got comfortable with the pitching staff, just like every catcher needs to do. And he's out there balling.
Groen's off to second, and
Oh, yeah,
now
we'll
he
take that.
slides down, and now easily coming home is Steven Kraus.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not how you drew it up, but a mistake throw from the catcher,
We'll
and the
take that.
Senators have a 3-2 lead.
That's something we did at the beginning of the year as well. We need to pick this back up, but we capitalized on their mistakes, other teams' mistakes. When we were on that big win streak, we were hitting the ball, and we were hitting it in the right places at the right time. And every time they had an error, the next guy would come up big, or if we got a walk, we would steal a base and get a base runner and get a hit in and score them. Oh, that's a great again. Carter with the great weed. See? That's another thing that Carter does, man.
Carter
Base
Groen
runner.
wreaking havoc on the base pass. Senators got a 2-run lead.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Cody, I got a question. Who comes up with these the noises?
Well, that's them next door. They're originated from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, whose stadium in which we reside, of course. But it's them choosing to play it. I actually don't know who's in there at the moment.
I think it's two baseball. I think it's two teammates.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because most days it's Drew Owens or Grace Morris. They're in there often, but I'm pretty sure they got some of the players from the team. For sure, yesterday it was MJ and Logan Bingham, as this will be out number 3 in the 5th inning. So we go to the 6th. Senators in front 4-2. Jax, we would love to have you with us for the 6th inning if you're able to do so. So we will send you folks to break and be back for the 6th. 4-2, Senators in front.
Eternal Couture Sports makes your design ideas come to life. From sports uniforms to vehicle lettering, custom t-shirts, yard signs, and more, EC Sports has you covered. They're ready to suggest new design ideas for your company logo, team uniforms, or personal apparel. Based in Waldorf, Maryland, EC Sports is here to match your design needs. To learn more, visit ecsportsdmv.net today. Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com.
Well, how about this for a birthday present? Austin Delaney having to warm up the pitcher, Cade Vincent. Just a moment ago, we had Jax Nichols with me up in the booth. It was a great time. He was called down. We'll see if we get him back up here. He's back down to the field, so it seems like we'll lose him at least for the moment. But great having Jax up here in the booth. He's always a great time to be around, as you got a feeling for a moment ago. Senators with a big 5th inning, Max.
Yeah, it was good to see them take the lead here 4-2 now. I'm sure Coach Delaney is thankful there was only Cale Vincent in there and not one of the harder throwing pitchers that he had to warm up this top half of the inning here.
Yeah, so Cale Vincent stays in the ball game as his first pitch misses outside. Normally a second baseman for the Senators, but with the unique pitching situation tonight and the playoffs looming, he is forced to pitch this evening as Foster lifts one down the left field line. Tribble will put it away for at number 1.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Coach Middleton's seen the progress in that Crop Dusters Grays game, because that's impactful to the Senators playoff situation. The Crop Dusters currently lead 15-6 in the top of the 5th inning, so looking good for the Senators' chances of getting that final bye spot.
Yeah, so to give some clarity, if the Senators win or the Grays lose this evening, Southern Maryland gets a bye in the first round of the playoffs, which will take place tomorrow on Tuesday. That's just a one-game elimination round. Same thing for the second round of the playoffs that will take place on Wednesday. Seeds 3 and 4 will play the 2 winners from day number 1. And then in the semifinals, it will be 3-game series. 0-2. Misses upstairs.
Yeah, and obviously a guy like Vincent loves to get some opportunities on the mound, too. Probably been asking the coaching staff all season for an opportunity like this.
Oh, and he just missed with that one.
Yeah, Senators dugout definitely looking for a called third strike there.
Vincent's 2-2. This is away. Well, we got Jax Nichols back up here in the booth. He had to run down to the field, and then he's quickly back up here.
How'd he go help the real president, Scott Middleton?
So Aiden Driscoll able to work a walk there. Glad to have you back with us, Cody Wagner, Jax Nichols. And, Jax, you got the start at catcher today.
Yeah.
And how was it kind of having to transition from working with Jace, who was going to get the start, then goes down with an injury pregame, and then now having to switch to Dawson, who's got totally different weapons?
Yeah, absolutely. 2 different pitchers. But, again, it's same mindset. Still dominating. Still going out there better. Knowing you're better than the guy in the box. And if that pitcher knows he has that, then us together can beat anybody, whoever's on the bump. So it didn't change a lot other than pitch calling, honestly. Dawson Weatherhall, he throws a lot of splitters, not so much fastballs. And Jace, he's a 2-seam fastball guy that likes to break bats a lot. Did you see that bat he broke against Big Train?
Yeah.
That bat went flying. But, yeah, not much of a different mindset, changing pitchers. But he went out there and did a job. Now we're up 4-2. How did we get those 2 runs?
They were last inning when you were talking to me. They got the Carter Grown steal, if you remember, and then stole around third and came home on an errant throw, and then Steven Cross started off with the double.
I like to shout out my parents, Cody.
Okay.
They're watching right now, actually.
Wow.
They are. Christy and Kevin Nichols, they made me.
Wow.
They made me. I am their son. They are my parents. So I love y'all. I know y'all are watching.
And your dad, a coach over at Middle Tennessee State.
Yes,
your
sir.
family has a great relationship with this team. That's
my dad
partially why there's so many Middle Tennessee State guys on this team.
Talk. Carter's got that, right? Yeah.
Groen will make the catch for the second out of the inning.
But yeah, my dad and Scott Middleton. Again, Scott Middleton is the best coach on the earth. Face of the earth, Scott Middleton. He's like a god to me, actually. Everything he says, I do, for no matter what. He's the best looking guy on the face of the planet. He has the best beard, the best mustache. You see him in a jersey, you think it's Magic Mike out there, Cody. He is just something special to look at, I tell you what. That pretty face of his. But yeah, Dad, Mom, I love you. I will give y'all a call after the game.
So just want to mention this is a pinch hitter, Josh Erd, who's in. He's 3 of his last 13 at the plate.
Double
Just
play
having
would be good here.
Having so much fun here with Jax Nichols. How about tell us about Cale
Vincent, baby.
And if you asked it all to be a pitcher.
If I asked, it'd be a hard no. My arm actually does not let me pitch. I had Tommy John in ninth grade,
Oh, geez.
and I did not do physical therapy well. So, second base, throwing down from catcher to second's about all I got.
You just sling that thing.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes, but it's okay. But no, pitching would be the last thing that is written down in the record book for me. Yeah, pitching would be last for sure. But Kel Vincent out here doing a job, man. Look at him. Oh, I think he leaned into that one, Cody. I'm not gonna lie to you. This umpire behind the plate today. Let's talk about this guy, Cody. He is one umpire. I tell you that.
Way to be safe there. You kept it professional. Good job.
Yeah, he is
Good
one
job.
umpire. He's yeah. His name's Matt. That's all I know, actually.
Matt Powers. There's
Matt
the
Powers.
last name for
Yep,
you. Yep.
Powers, Matt Powers. Yeah, hope we never have him again. Sorry, didn't mean to say that, but
So Puvel takes the first pitch strike.
so Cody, I got some questions for you.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing about your job and coming out here every day and doing what you do?
Oh, and that was a nice pickoff move by Vincent. Nearly got
That
him.
was nice. That was a timing pickoff right there by him and Dawson Smell.
Yeah, I would say favorite thing is, just getting the opportunity to tell your guys' stories. That's what excites me to be able to learn new stories, new humans. It's just wonderful.
That's one thing I do love about summer ball too. You get to meet new guys, and you're not with them but a couple months, so you don't know too much about them, but you get to know them as much as you can. And some guys, you're from, like Kale, he's from my hometown. He actually plays. Oh, they hit him! Let's go. Let's go.
And so Cale Vincent able to get out of the sixth inning. Boy, has he been doing a job on the mound. 4-2 Senators in front. Back-to-back scoreless innings for Vincent. We're back with more after this. Senators in front by 2 runs on the Senators Baseball Network.
Need industry-leading equipment for leaf blowers, lawnmowers, boat trailers, and more? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Need maintenance or repair on equipment? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Family owned and operated, they take pride in everything they do. They have a reputation for fixing what others can't. For more on equipment and repair, check out GuyBrothersMarine.com today. Guy Brothers Marine. Their commitment to serving customers is priority one. The newest addition to the Senators family is the Maryland Lady Senators softball team. With an 18U team forming, 14U and 10U teams, the Lady Senators coaches and staff strive to help players reach their fullest potential both on and off the field. With the team just finishing their second season, you can join in the future by registering at ladysenators.com.
Back to your scheduled programming. Cody Wagner, Max Wagner had a moment ago to chat with Jax Nichols. Boy, was that a fun time. Always just bringing the best of vibes.
Yeah, definitely good to get the players up here in the booth and give them a chance to get on the cans.
So there's a first pitch strike to start off MJ Phillips. New arm out of the bullpen. It's Michael Presky, a 6-foot right-hander, native of Chesapeake City, Maryland. So a local kid playing for the Thunderbolts. Whole ton of those on the Silver Spring team. That's exactly how Brock Hunter built this team, and they even got a director of player development over there. That's Max Eckert with the squad.
Yeah, you see a sidearm delivery here from Pesky.
And this is a bouncer up the middle. It's booted off the glove of Cutney, and Phillips will reach aboard.
Yeah, that'll go in the scorebook as an error there.
Excuse me, that is actually Matthew Kim at second base. He came in for Nolan Cutney as a replacement. Actually in the 5th inning as a pinch runner. Josh Erd also taking over at shortstop for Vazo. And then at first base, they got Brady Grimes instead of Braden Foster. So a lot of defensive changes, and it just goes perfectly along with what we talked earlier in the game about is so many guys on this team. All of them want play time, and it's tough to kind of juggle all of that. That one nearly hit Smale. It's all the way to the backstop. Phillips easily to second.
Yeah, certainly a wild pitch there.
Senators in a great position at the moment to try to lock up that bye for the playoffs. They lead 4-2 here over the Thunderbolts. A win would punch their ticket, as well as a Grays loss. And it's looking like both of those may be on their way to happening.
Yeah, certainly if the results hold, the Senators would get both those things to lock up that 4 seed that they need.
New playoff format has all 8 teams getting into the postseason due to all the games canceled this summer. It's been a crazy one. Thunderbolts, this is game 33 this season for them. Senators number 34. This is a season that was originally scheduled for 40 games, and now it's the last game of the regular season tonight.
Yeah, definitely an abbreviated season from that rain that's impacted all the teams in this league. So change of the playoff format to get all teams in there so everybody will have a chance of winning that coveted trophy as the best team in the Cal Ripken Summer Baseball League.
Senators also playing for something a little extra tonight, looking for their first winning season as a ball club. Their 3rd season in the league, and they have quickly rose to prominence.
Yeah, 1 game above 500 right now. It could be either end the season at 500 or they would end 2 games above 500 if they're able to close it out here.
Smale pulls one on the ground to first. Grimes will take it himself. There's one away. Well, that's actually huge, that wild pitch earlier, really looming large, because it allows MJ Phillips to go to third and a productive out available here.
Yeah, that ball probably a little too softly hit to be able to turn a double play there, but they might have been able to get a lead runner and have a runner on first rather than Phillips on third right now. So looks like the Thunderbolts here are going to bring the infield in and give Flores a lot of space to be able to hit that ball through the infield.
Back to the top of the order with Nick Flores. And just kind of give us some of the subtleties with bringing the infield in here. We talked a little bit about it last night as well.
Yeah, it really impacts the range of the defenders. So any ball hit right at the infielders, they're going to look at that runner on third. If he's going home, they'll make that play at the plate. If that runner retreats to third, as they usually will do, if the ball's hit to one of those infielders, they'll throw it over to first, and they'll have then 2 outs here and a runner on third base, which any out then will prevent that run from scoring.
1-1. Nice pitch, just misses.
strategy you typically see later in ball games as there's a premium on runs scored here. If the Senators are able to stretch it to 3, that definitely is impactful at this late stage of the game.
Presky, a 2-0 record on the season, as Flores will tack on another run for Southern Maryland. RBI base knock for Flores, his second of the evening.
Yeah, another RBI hit there for Flores, who's had the corners drawn in on him once, and now he had the whole infield in on him, and he was able to drive another ball into that left center area.
So Senators grow their lead up to 3, and in steps Adam Trock. Some speed on first base as well in Nick Flores, third on the team with 13 steals. It's a Senators lineup that has started to put it together late in the season. They were able to do it pretty much every game to start the year. 10 games in, they were averaging 8 runs a contest. Since then, obviously, things have slowed down a lot. They're 7th in the league in runs. But any game, they can have an offensive explosion. Happened the other night on Saturday against the Braves. Won 9-5 in what was supposed to be a doubleheader. Second contest got canceled. Flores is off, pitches inside, throw to second, safe.
Yeah, interesting to see the runner take off there. You'd seen Bonnoir able to throw out a runner earlier in the game, but given the longer arm motion of this side armor in Presky, Scott Middleton decided to put his runners in motion there.
And the Senators, they will take no lack in trying to steal bases. They're always trying to apply pressure, something Middleton has wanted more of from this team. And tonight that pressure is turned into runs.
Yeah, it's good to see the roles reversed yesterday after the only crop dusters were able to take advantage of the defense from the Senators. Good to see the Senators turning that around and doing that to the Thunderbolts this evening.
Presky's 3-1. Flown in the air, foul down the left side. Well, Adam Trock has been massive to this team all season. He's batting .354. A big addition for Scott Middleton this offseason. Glad to have a guy from Maryland as well. Actually love this team so much and the head coach that he decides to make the trip down from Bethesda every day. This is popped out of play towards the right side.
Yeah, Tad early on that ball there, deep drive to right field, but out into the playground area there beyond the right field stands.
Trock was actually telling me the other day that he decided to play for the Senators largely because of Scott Middleton, but he had actually gone to Big Train games growing up. Throughout high school, he went to a number of Bethesda's games over there at Shirley Povich Field. He got him swinging. Strikeout number 1 on the evening for Presky.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Logan.
So Logan Tribble riding the hottest of hands. He's been out of this world recently in this entire season. 1 for 3 this evening. He's told me he's a guy with many superstitions, as a whole number of baseball players are.
As the best ones usually are. Pitchers are the most typical to fall into those superstitions or routines, you know, because they always know in advance when they're getting those starts.
I know you certainly, back in your playing days, had a lot of particular things you would do when you were playing.
Yeah, you find a certain meal and you pitch well that evening, and that's what you're going to use the next time out. And if you string together a few good starts, you might find that that's the only meal you ever eat before a game.
Yeah, what's always odd to me is then so they have a bad start after they made that the tradition, and then they continue on that tradition. That's what's interesting to me.
Yeah, it certainly depends on when in that streak you have that bad performance. If you're deep into that streak, well, bad games happen every once in a while, and you're going to keep that superstition going. If it's that second game where you try that same meal, well, you're probably going to try a new meal after that.
Just crazy, you guys. Here's the 2-0. Called strike.
Ball looked a little outside there. Tribble seems to agree with my evaluation of it rather than the umpires there.
Tribble was left aboard in the first inning. Senators since then have done a great job of driving in runs. They got 2 in the 5th inning, already won this inning. Senators pitching has done a phenomenal job. Got 4 innings in the start out of Dawson Weatherald, then who knew? Cale Vincent, maybe you got to make him the ace. He's come out of the bullpen, normally a second baseman, and he's thrown 2 innings of scoreless ball.
Yeah, probably the only guy on the Senators with a pitching appearance this year that hasn't given up any runs yet. So
Tribble lines one into center field, and it's a jumping grab made by Sturdivant to end the inning. We head to the 7th. Senators in front by 3 on the Senators Baseball Network. We're back with more after this.
Seeking investment management help? Well, look no further than GDS Investments. With over 20 years of experience, Glenn Surwick has the knowledge and experience to help you make informed investment decisions. The company maintains full transparency, allowing you to view your account activity at any time so there are no delays or surprises. Go to gdsinvestments.com today to learn more. GDS Investments, there to guide you when the winds change. Eternal Couture Sports makes your design ideas come to life. From sports uniforms to vehicle lettering, custom t-shirts, yard signs, and more, EC Sports has you covered. They're ready to suggest new design ideas for your company logo, team uniforms, or personal apparel. Based in Waldorf, Maryland, EC Sports is here to match your design needs. To learn more, visit ecsportsdmv.net today.
To the 7th inning we go. Late innings between the Senators and Thunderbolts in a game that Southern Maryland leads by 3 runs. To lead things off will be Bryce Curry, making the start at third base this evening. He is 0 for 1 thus far as he stings one on the ground. Surwick, a nice backhanded pick, who throws him out, 1 away.
what a pick there by Surwick, going to his left down the third base line, made that play almost look easy. Tough for a guy like Curry like that. You square up the ball so well, and you make a right turn back to that dugout.
And he's made the second most errors on the team. There was a point earlier in this season where it seems Surwick was struggling with the confidence on the fielding end. Tonight, he's been perfect.
Yeah, that definitely did not show on that last play there.
Yeah, and it's been that way all evening. He has been fantastic and made a couple of star-studded plays. This is Matthew Kim's first AB of the evening. Bullpen is absolutely loving the effort from Cale Vincent. First time he's pitched this season. Normally the second baseman for the Senators. Joined the team about halfway through the year. Kim flies one out to center field. Truck hauls it in for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, good to see Kim put away. He was coming in on a hot streak, 7 for his last 15, but Vincent able to put him away as he's done with most of these batters for the Thunderbolts in his appearance today.
And so Nicky Keene will get an opportunity to bat here. Hasn't played much at all in a hitting role this season. And now he gets an opportunity to bat for Jack Herda.
He's actually been primarily a pitcher this season. He's got a 1-2 record with 3 saves while he's been on the bump. This will be his first AB.
And so Brock Hunter just giving an opportunity for a lot of guys off the bench this evening. Thunderbolts playing for something themselves, some seeding in the playoffs on the line. Surowick will see it into the seats.
Yeah, Nicky Keene actually was starter through 4 scoreless innings in the first game of their doubleheader for the Thunderbolts against the Grays yesterday.
Yeah, just some absolutely fantastic pitching. Allowed 7 base runners, but you said it, none of them able to score. He got him! Cale Vincent putting together a masterpiece on the mound. 3 innings clean out of the pen. Senators in front 5-2. We go bottom 7. Southern Maryland trying to tack on to their lead after this.
Thermal Comfort provides heating and air conditioning for newly constructed custom homes in Northern Virginia and select areas in Maryland. They service all systems, operational or non-operational, while providing free estimates for new systems. Go to thermalcomfortllc.com and choose the easier way to upgrade your heating and cooling system.
So we got a lot of explaining to do. This playoff bracket has changed in a large way, and with that, it's brought up a lot of odd playoff scenarios. It's based off the total amount of wins, and then from there, they do it based off of tiebreakers. So because of that, the Senators will attain that number 4 seed with a win or Gray's loss this evening. It looks like it's trending that way for both of those results. Grays would need a win and a Senators loss this evening. It's a similar situation for the Aces. They got to get a win or a Crop Dusters loss, only looking like they're going to pull off a win. And then the Aces, they are up 11-8 at the moment against the Giants. That's the other one tonight that's going on. Giants with a win or Thunderbolts loss get the 6th seed. Thunderbolts would have to win and get the Giants loss. So it looks like Gaithersburg may drop that one in the bottom of the 7th inning against the Aces down by 3 runs. We'll just have to see how things play out. But for the moment, it's looking good for Southern Maryland and exactly what Scott Middleton wants.
Yeah, for now, looks like those seeds are going to hold as they were coming into the day. You know, you'll end up with the Senators at 4, the Aces at 2, and you'll end up with the Giants at 6.
Yeah, and there's a look at the bracket coming into today. It's exactly what Max just outlined. Senators in the 4 spot, trying to hold that strong, and then the Aces holding on to the 2 seed. Crop Dusters, though, putting together a great end of the season, but a win isn't enough for them this evening solely. They would also have to get an Aces loss to snatch that 2 seed with the Aces holding the tiebreaker over them.
Yeah, the Aces currently leading 11-8, so the Crop Dusters will need some help from the Gaithersburg Giants later this evening to get that 2nd seed and double bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Bottom 7th inning, Stephen Krause takes the first pitch strike. Southern Maryland in front by 3 runs, trying to grow onto this lead.
Krause has certainly been seeing the ball well today. He's got 2 big extra base hits into that right center field gap. He was able to leg one of them out for a triple, and the other one was a double. Another big swing there.
Scott Middleton, gotta love the effort out of his guys this evening. They have left a total of 7 base runners stranded, but when you score 5, you can handle that, and it's all been about creating action on the base pass. Something that they struggled to do during that losing streak in the middle of the season. At one point, they had dropped 5 straight. But Southern Maryland's coming into the playoffs. They're looking pretty good as a recent. If they're victorious tonight, it would be 3 of their last 4. Liam Miller, new arm out of the bullpen, 6-foot right-hander out of Rochester Institute of Technology. 1-1. Kraus fouls off.
Yeah, you see a bit of a different arm angle this inning than you saw last inning. Bit more of a traditional 3/4 to over the top compared to the sidearmer we saw last inning.
Kraus has been fantastic this evening, 2 for 3, triple and a double. Both into that right center field gap, and he stings one that direction once more. It's a base knock.
Kraus is wearing that right center field gap out here this evening. He's now got a single, double, and a triple to that right center field gap.
Fantastic evening for Kraus, who's breaking out of a little bit of a slump. Was 2 of his last 12 coming in tonight, really turning things around.
Yeah, he was doing a good job getting the bat on the ball in his last 12 at-bats coming into this contest. He only had 2 hits, but it was good for 7 RBIs. So you've seen the ball well enough to deliver in those situational opportunities, and now it's translating into a great game here against the Thunderbolts.
And that's exactly why he's remained in that 4 spot. His coaching staff has all the confidence in the world in Steven Kraus and believes that he can always deliver in those big moments, as he so often does.
Well, it just shows you the ability of the coaching staff to see beyond the box score, right? Not everything's captured in that 2 for 12 line.
Danny Serwick, he's been magic against the Thunderbolts this season. Coming in against this squad was 3 of 7. His 1 for 2 tonight was caught stealing back in the 2nd inning. Also a walk in the 3rd. He was ultimately left stranded in that inning, where the Senators left 2 aboard. It's been incredibly important for the Senators to try to get runs throughout games this season, something that they really struggled to do early on in the campaign. Tonight they have done exactly that. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and then 1 last inning in the 6th. It's tough to win games when you're only getting runs early, but when you score throughout, you can kind of go to your bullpen, hey, we're trying to support you guys. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, that's definitely a difference between this game and last game. You know, most of their runs were scored early in yesterday's contest, but today they've been able to score throughout the game.
Yeah, last night they got 2 runs in the first 2 innings. From there, scored 1 run over the next 5 innings. So certainly desired more offensively last night. They've also got some great pitching this evening from an unlikely source. Cale Vincent has been fantastic out of the bullpen. Normally the second baseman, but delivering on the bump.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if this might be an arm they try again to roll out in the postseason. You know, obviously they'll go with their tried and true arms, but might give Vincent an opportunity to see what he can do on the bump again in the playoffs if they get in a situation where they're either far ahead of somebody or maybe they're trying to just get some innings eaten in one of those best-of-3 contests if they're lucky enough to make it that far in the playoffs.
Especially with the Senators down to 15 listed pitchers on the roster. They have dealt with a lot of injuries out in the arm barn, so to speak. And Southern Maryland, it's just incredible how they've been able to work through all the injuries, both on the hitting side and the pitching.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for the Senators this year. Luckily, that depth hasn't been exposed to terribly bad, but the rainouts that led to that 13 games and 11-day stretch certainly exposed some of that lack of depth down there in the Senators' bullpen.
Yeah, Southern Maryland was able to keep on riding the winning streak from early in the season for the beginning of that stretch where they were able to win 9 straight ultimately. But from there, they really struggled on the back half of those games. As Carter Groen goes down swinging, there's 1 away in the bottom of 7.
Yeah, it seemed like Miller kicked it into another gear there. That seemed to be the fastest pitch of the evening.
Now batting the catcher, number 41, Jack.
So Jack Gagan for the second time this evening. He grounded out to third his first time up. Took over for Jax Nichols tonight. Had a fun time with Jax up here in the booth earlier. Gagan out of Ashburn, Virginia. So able to live at his home during the summertime and make the daily trips over to Waldorf. He smashes one into the right center field gap. That's down. It's cut off by Driscoll. And now he boots it away. Gagan a long round to first, but he'll stay there and knocks home Kraus. Senators in front by 4.
Yeah, that ball looked to boot off the leg there. Driscoll out there in right field. Fortunately enough, I don't think that led to any extra base runners being able to advance there for the Senators.
So that'll bring up MJ Phillips, who is about as unique as they get in terms of both his approach to baseball and just to life. Always fun to be around in the dugout, regularly cracking a joke. He's also a big fan of Clash Royale. It's a big thing on this team. All the guys play it. For those folks not aware of what that is, it's a mobile game taken over from Clash of Clans. Now I feel like I'm getting too deep into it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little old, but I remember the original Clash of Clans days.
Yeah, these guys, they love Clash Royale. It's a bit of an obsession, especially for guys like MJ Phillips on the team.
So who's got the best clan?
I'm not really aware. I got to ask him, as here's a routine double play ball. Nice play by the pitcher, and that will do it for the 7th inning. Senators lead 6-2 as we go to the 8th. 4-run lead for Southern Maryland. We're back with more baseball after this.
If you or your child is searching for a youth baseball team, you're looking in the right place. The Maryland Senators Elite Travel Baseball Team competes in tournaments and showcases around the country. Featuring teams from 8 to 18U, the Senators work hard to prepare players for the next level by teaching confidence, a winning attitude, and the importance of character by being a great student, teammate, and individual. Get more information by searching MarylandSenators.com, the place to be for travel baseball in Maryland. Want to help the Senators? You can help fuel the team and carry them to victory by becoming a game day meal sponsor. For $250, you provide a pregame meal for the Senators players and staff. If you sign up, you'll receive 4 season passes to home games, a game time announcement, along with commercials on all Southern Maryland Senators broadcasts throughout the season. Both corporate and private donors are welcome. To sign up today, contact info@somdsenators.com. Whether you're a player or aspire to work a job in sports, the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate Baseball League is the right place for you. With over 250 players each year, the Cal Ripken League helps showcase talent in a competitive environment. If you're seeking a job in sports, the Cal Ripken League offers media and photography internships. To learn more, visit calripkenleague.org today.
So the catcher, Vance Bonwar, will come up to lead things off in the top of the 8th inning. Cody Wagner, Max Wagner with you on an evening from Waldorf, Maryland. First pitch swinging, and it is fouled on the third baseline.
Yeah, not fouled by much there. You saw the third base umpire had to get out of the way before he was able to make that foul ball call.
A little bit of a delayed call on that first strike.
Yeah, speaking of catchers there, we had Jax Nichols up in the booth earlier giving a shout-out to his makers. Going to give a shout-out to both Cody and mine's makers, Kurt and Cindy Wagner. Appreciate all the love and support you've given to each of us in our careers.
And that's a leadoff base hit for Vance Bonwart. And there's a man aboard to begin things in the 8th. Yeah, thankful for the opportunity that they've given me to be able to come out here every year, at least the last 2 years, with the Senators and be able to call. It's also likely the last home game of the season for the Senators. With the Blue Crabs playing here this week, they will not have the opportunity, the Senators that is, to play at Regency Furniture Stadium in the postseason. So they will have to play their technical home games at other teams' places. So
Yeah, they'll be able to get that first at bat, but they won't have the comfort of coming back to this Regency Furniture Park, most likely, that they've been playing at all season.
And so this is Brady Grimes at the plate. He leads the league in home runs. Has launched 5 long balls this season, as this is a pop fly. Right side, growing a long run. He will make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, when you talk about launch angle, which is something a guy like Brady Grimes, given his home run streak, looks at, that certainly was hit with a bit too high of a launch angle there, as Carter Grome was able to put it away in fairly short right field.
So a fly out to begin the inning from Grimes. And this brings up Aiden Driscoll. Takes a called strike to start things. Cale Vinson came on back in the 5th inning. Still remains in here in the 8th.
Yeah, this has been a pleasant surprise, I'm sure, for the Senators coaching staff here, as you would not have expected Cale Vinson to be able to come in and give you such good work out of the bullpen.
Just brilliance on the hill this evening from Vinson. Couldn't ask for much more.
Yeah, seeing runless baseball. It's almost overshadowing the story of Weatherhold here, who started the game off. Had a pretty good start, only giving up 2 runs in 4 innings.
Yeah, and you really got to give some love to Dawson Weatherald, because he's a normal arm out of the bullpen. That's the longest appearance he's made all season. Prior to that, it was only 2 2/3 when he was really needed to. So today, really just pushing the limits, as this is sliced through the left side, a base hit. 2 men aboard, and the Thunderbolts trying to put together the offense.
Yeah, you see these guys getting a second look at Vincent here, and that's typically when you see a bit more of a batter's getting used to that arm angle and things like that.
And so Gabriel Wees is the pinch hitter for Caleb Sturdivant.
Yeah, another substitution here for the Thunderbolts. You've seen a lot of those this evening, trying to get all those bats in the lineup.
He smacks one deep out to center field. Long run for Truck, who will make the catch. And they're going to send him home. Cut off by Flores. His throw to plate not in time. Bonnoir with one heck of a base running effort.
Yeah, certainly a unique play that you don't see very often. A sacrifice fly that scores a runner from second base. Just a ball driven super deep to center field. Truck able to track it down, but couldn't get it in quick enough to prevent that runner from scoring from second base.
Yeah, and it's 400 out to dead center here. And a huge outfield area as this is flown into shallow right. Groen will make the call and put it away to end the 8th inning. Wow, it's been a bullpen performance from Cale Vinson, and he has been fantastic. We go to the bottom of 8. Senators trying to tack on a couple more and give their guys some more insurance. 6-3, Southern Maryland leads.
If you or your child is searching for a youth baseball team, you're looking in the right place. The Maryland Senators Elite Travel Baseball Team competes in tournaments and showcases around the country. Featuring teams from 8 to 18U, the Senators work hard to prepare players for the next level by teaching confidence, a winning attitude, and the importance of character by being a great student, teammate, and individual. Get more information by searching MarylandSenators.com, the place to be for travel baseball in Maryland. The newest addition to the Senators family is the Maryland Lady Senators softball team. With an 18U team forming, 14U and 10U teams, the Lady Senators coaches and staff strive to help players reach their fullest potential both on and off the field. With the team just finishing their second season, you can join in the future by registering at ladysenators.com.
New arm out of the bullpen for the T-Bolts, E.J. Youngling, 6'2" righty, native of Finksburg, Maryland, so a local kid. Doesn't have to find a host family. Whole lot of those for these Senators players. Smale, one of them that's got to live with a family in the local area. He's out of Pennsylvania and just recently announced that he will be transferring to play at the junior college level over at Brookdale Community College.
Yeah, you referenced the host families, and they're definitely a group that deserves a shout-out, supporting these players throughout these summer collegiate seasons all throughout the country, but particularly here to help support the Senators in Southern Maryland.
Yeah, the other night we got an opportunity to recognize those amazing host families. They came here and ate dinner with the players before the game. It was actually Lito's Pizza, with which I don't think you are familiar because it is a Maryland specialty. Originated over in College Park, and now it's spread across Southern Maryland.
College campus, certainly a good place to start a pizza operation.
No doubt about that. No lack of young students wanting pizza, especially late at night.
Right, those late night study marathons sometimes require some extra carbs, and you can get that at a good pizza joint.
No doubt about that. This Dawson Smale, he's the absolute utility for Scott Middleton. Just loves that about this kid. Can put him wherever needed. That time just stood straight up on the 3-0, taking the whole way.
Yeah, he got to make a pitching appearance earlier this season, and now he's at second base today.
He's played second base, right field, center field, a little bit of left as well. Been wherever needed. Little different, though, from the utility last season, who was Mike Sweeney. He actually caught for the Senators at one point. He hadn't done that since Little League, since he was about 9 years old, Mike Sweeney had told me. And he had to come up clutch and catch for the Senators last year when they were short at that position. He did a fantastic job, all things told.
Yeah, that's one thing that's been consistent over the last 2 years is that catching position. Seems like you can't have enough depth there.
And Scott Middleton keenly aware of that coming into this season, so he really loaded up on the catching position. And even with that, having 3 catchers to start the season, they've run low at times.
Yeah, a guy like Smale here is so huge with Middleton carrying the lighter load on the roster.
Smale goes down swinging, and there's one out of the 8th.
Yeah, having so few batters, having a guy like Smale that you can plug anywhere in defensively is certainly an asset.
So Youngling, this new arm out of the bullpen for the T-Bolts. He follows up Michael Presky, who threw an inning, and then Liam Miller, who made quick work in the 7th. Senators were able to score a run.
Looked like a cross up there between Bonnoir and his pitcher Youngling. Interesting with nobody on base to have such a cross up like that.
Yeah, it looked like a bad one. Bonnoir was totally fooled.
Yeah, that did not look very pretty there.
Just had to act out of self-preservation.
Yeah, they'll have a quick conversation, make sure they're on the same page to keep everybody behind the dish there safe. You know, it's both the catcher and the umpire that are at risk in situations like that where you get a cross up.
Yeah, and common throughout this league, catchers calling the game behind the dish. Asked Jax Nichols about it earlier. Says that he goes through game plans with anyone who's going to pitch on that day. Just what things are we feeling? What do you want to go to?
It's something unique that these guys don't frequently have an opportunity to do in college. The college game often is called by the head coaches in the dugout or the pitching coaches, but in these summer leagues they tend to give the players a little more freedom to call their own game behind the dish, which is critical for their development because at the next level they'll be expected to do that.
And it's getting more and more different, right, with calling pitches as well, because they're starting to add pitch comment as well at the college level. That still hasn't crossed over to summer ball yet, but would guess that in some capacity it may only be time that will change that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it creeps into the summer game because it's used at the major league level, which is really what these summer leagues are designed to prepare these guys for. Give them a little glimpse of the wood bats and things like that that are more typically used in the professional level.
And how big of a change is that? I know you played in some wood bat tournaments. How much of a difference does it make, the aluminum BB core compared to the wood bat?
I would say in general the biggest difference is the sweet spot in the bat. You know, when you're hitting it with a BB core bat, you got anywhere along that barrel that you're able to put a charge into the baseball. With the wood bat, it's obviously more natural and you don't have that same consistency throughout the bat. You got a sweet spot and you got to make sure you put that sweet spot on the bat.
So that's good work by the one-hitter for Scout Middleton, Nick Flores, and he's able to get aboard. It's something that's so common for Nick Flores, finding a way to get on base, and that's why he hits leadoff.
Yeah, going back to your question, the exit velocities, you can see about the same exit velocities if you get a good barrel with a wood bat, but it's the consistency with which you're able to hit those exit velocities. You get much more forgiving response out of a BB core bat compared to a wooden bat. And obviously broken bats too, right? That's something you don't see with the BB core that you will see with these wood bats.
Well, obviously that is generally true, but I do remember one time, this was one of your games, and I will forever hold this in my mind, that I saw an aluminum bat break. Can you please give the folks the story on that?
Well, so I'll put a bit of my engineering hat on to break down what exactly can happen that might lead to one of the composite bats breaking. So what happens in the BB core leagues, there's two types of bats, and one of them is a two-piece bat where the shaft is made from a different material than the barrel. And so what can happen is at a cold temperature, that shaft will shrink at a slower rate than at a faster rate than the barrel.
As they catch Nick Flores trying to steal second, there's two away.
And so what that means is there's typically an interference fit, so that shaft and the barrel are slammed together. Well, once you get below a certain temperature range, that interference loosens, and what can happen is if you jar it at a certain angle, you can make the barrel of the bat leave the shaft, and that's what happened with that broken bat that you referred to.
Yeah, and I do remember it was a very cold day as Trot grounds out to Grimes at first to retire the side. So, 3 men up, 3 men down in the 8th inning for the Senators. We go to the 9th. One last opportunity for the Thunderbolts bats this evening. Senators lead by 3, trying to close things out after this short break.
Need industry-leading equipment for leaf blowers, lawnmowers, boat trailers, and more? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Need maintenance or repair on equipment? Guy Brothers Marine can help. Family owned and operated, they take pride in everything they do. They have a reputation for fixing what others can't. For more on equipment and repair, check out GuyBrothersMarine.com today. Guy Brothers Marine, their commitment to serving customers is priority one. If you want to stay up to date with all things Senators, follow the collegiate team's social media accounts. You can follow the team at Southern MD Senators on Instagram or Go SOMD Senators on X to keep up with the team. You'll get score updates, final score graphics, access to articles, and so much more. Go check out the Senators on social media and don't miss a moment this season.
Well, why not ride the hot hand? Cale Vincent has been fantastic all evening. He's already thrown 4 innings of scoreless ball, 1-run ball. That came in the 8th inning for the T-Bolts, trying to keep the score right where it is and ride the Senators to victory. With a win, it doesn't matter what happens in that Grays game, although they are well on their way to a loss against the Crop Dusters. Only lead 17-7 over there. But Senators are the master of their fate tonight and trying to walk away with victory against the T-Bolts.
Yeah, you really wonder with hearing about the originally planned starter going out injured, Cunane, and then you brought in Weatherold, who was expected to be the first arm out of the pen. Did Vincent even know he was going to come in this game? I'm sure he didn't think he was going to go 4+ innings into this game, looking to close it out here with a 5th inning.
Yeah, I would guess with the lack of arms available that he was told at some point, hey, Cale, we're probably going to need you tonight. But, yeah, you're probably right. He wasn't expected he's going to need to be maybe, you could say, the main guy this evening.
Yeah, he's definitely done a great job out of the bullpen here this evening.
And his placement has just been otherworldly.
Yeah, certainly not lighting up the radar gun, but keeping the ball in the zone, trusting his fielders behind him has been the key to his success this evening.
So this is Matt Walters on for Griffin Pouvel in the DH spot. Brock Hunter giving opportunities to everyone off this bench. 2-2, foul back. Cody Wagner, Max Wagner with you. Glad to have my brother for the ride. I'll say he's done a fine job for his first 2 nights broadcasting ever. 2-2. Popped in the air, behind home plate. Gagan totally lost it, but it's behind home plate.
Thought I was going to be able to record an out there.
Yeah, maybe if the roof just disappeared, maybe you would have.
Yeah. Might have been a bit of a stretch over that railing to get to that ball.
Walters fouls off another.
Looks like that might be the only way to get this Walters out.
Yeah, banana ball rules not in play tonight. A fan can't catch it and record an out. Got to do it the good old-fashioned dirty way, strike him out or get one of the fielders to do it.
Yeah, only 9 players able to record outs in these games, unfortunately.
Down the stretch, Senators trying to clinch the 4th seed in the playoffs. That all important because you get a bye tomorrow, which is kind of a misnomer as Vincent gets a strikeout. Boy, he's been fantastic. Punch out number 3 on the night for Vincent. Yeah, and so explaining more about the bye, the Senators will still play a game tomorrow if they, of course, are to go on and win this one or the Grays lose. It's certainly trending majorly in that direction. But if that indeed happens and the Senators get the bye and do not play in the playoffs tomorrow, they will still play a game. It will not matter too much. It will still affect the record and mostly be for stats. Growing a long run to make this catch, but he does so for out number 2.
Yeah, it's been great to be able to join you up in the booth here this evening and join you yesterday. Definitely want to give you a shout out. It's great to be able to join you here at your work, you know, something that you don't get an opportunity to do very frequently, be able to work with your brother.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's been much different these last 2 days, but it has been Been enjoy getting to work with you. As Matthew Kim comes up to the plate and he takes low.
That looked to be some sort of off-speed offering there from Vincent.
Hey, I mean, I can't believe how well he's pitching. I'll have to have a chat with him either after tonight's game or before tomorrow because he's been fantastic. And there's a 2-out single for Matthew Kim.
Yeah, Kim definitely was on a hot streak coming into this game, so not surprising to see him keep his hit streak alive there.
8 for his last 17 at the plate. Kim is just finding it at the plate on a heater recently. So Nick Keene, he came on as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning for Jack Curtis, struck out his first time up, and Vincent puts it in there.
Get down to the last out here.
Well, normally when position players come on to pitch, it's generally in games that are well out of reach for either side. It could be a blowout in your favor or against you. But today, Vincent came on in the 5th inning when the game was tied at 2.
Yeah, Vincent, you know, as long as things hold the way they are right now, he'll be able to go home with a win.
He has really built some confidence with the bat as of late. And now on the mound, it's really translated over. This is popped in the air, left side of the infield. Vincent will make the call for it and do it himself. How about that from the second baseman? Fine performance on the mound, and he puts the game away himself. A fitting ending for an elite outing tonight from Cale Vincent. Bows out in center and rack up another for Southern Maryland, who's got a victory this evening. 18-16 the record for Southern Maryland, and they've got the 4 seed in the playoffs and will have a bye tomorrow night. Well, so glad to bring it your way this evening. That's my brother Max Wagner. I'm Cody Wagner. So glad you could join us. And there is a quick look at the playoff bracket, but I feel that it's due in order because it's our last game here at home. A lot of thanks to be given out. This will likely be my last game with the Senators. Boy, it has just been fantastic to be able to call for this amazing team over the last 2 summers. Scott Middleton has been all too kind to me throughout this time, as well as John Erickson, the owner and general manager of the team. John has graciously opened up his home and allowed me to stay with his family as a host family. Boy, I couldn't have asked for a better past 2 summers, but to work with the crew that we got here in Southern Maryland. So, for the final home game from Regency Furniture Stadium, for the last time from Waldorf, Maryland, I'm Cody Wagner, signing off. Have a great night, folks.